Hello, listeners, and welcome to a special bonus episode of From Print to Podcast presented by the Roanoke Magazine. I'm your friendly neighborhood editor, Liz Long, and in today's episode, we're highlighting the Town of Vinton and their new 7th edition of the Vinton Magazine. We're sitting down with Vinton Chamber of Commerce Executive Director Angie Chewning and Chasity Barbour, Community Programs Director for the Town of Vinton, and Vinton War Memorial creator of events and programs, as we talk about how Vinton really is in the middle of it all. Hi, ladies. Thank you so much for being here today.
Hi, thank you for having us.
So glad to have you back, of course, Chasity. Thank you again for being another cover star, if you can believe it.
Oh, my God.
You're having quite a year.
I know, right? I'm trying to show off
Autographs?
Yeah, you are. We also want to thank our friends at RVTV Civic Media for the Roanoke Valley, who is here today to show off the fun we're having in the studio as we record. You can check out their fun, informative videos, including this one and other All Things Vinton episodes over at rvtv.org. So the Vinton Magazine is actually one of the first things I ever worked on when I started working here and became part of the editorial team. This is a biannual publication that shines a light on the town and really is a great way to highlight so many wonderful things happening in the region, as well as the local businesses and people who make it home. As someone who's been writing about Vinton for almost a decade, it's been amazing to see the growth of the town and really just economically with the people that move there, the education. I mean, everything is booming, really, for lack of a better word. And so I'm so grateful to know so many people over there and to have gotten to know businesses, owners, you know, as citizens. And there's never a dull moment or shortage of kindness and friendship when it comes to your community.
Right, never that.
There's definitely never a dull moment with you guys.
Never a dull moment.
So first of all, really have to talk about this cover, which if you're watching our video portion, you can see in the background here. This was shot by our talented photographer and friend, Aaron Spicer. And just from watching the RVTV coverage of your special episode, it was quite a challenge. Chasity, you climbed up a ladder in heels.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Heels.
Yellow heels, of course.
Heels.
And Aaron, photographer, had to chase us all around the building trying to find out what we were doing because we were taping a segment, doing the photo shoot, right, trying to figure out logistics, trying to be safe.
Yeah, the keyword there.
All the guidelines.
Right. So, I mean,
He wasn't quite used to working with us. Scott had gotten quite used to our antics and like, oh, let's just do this or let's do that. And so there's never any real script or anything. So he was kind of like, what are y'all doing?
For a really authentic feel on things.
Right. Oh, yes.
No.
So you got up on the roof. How, besides maybe hot because it was a little in the summer, but how was that up there looking over the town of Vinton?
It was pretty cool.
Yeah?
It really is.
You got a view not a lot of people get.
Right, exactly, and that's true. It was neat and it was fun because people would go by and beep and we'd wave like we were, you know, on some cover of a magazine.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
We were like sending it to the owner, Jonathan Pate, shout out 107 South. So we like sent him pictures like rooftop. We want a rooftop. We like it up here.
Waiting for a restaurant to open there next.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right. We like it up here. But no, it was fun. It was neat to get that perspective. We've gotten to do a lot of cool stuff, especially with what we do and with RVTV. And so that was a little something different and but it was fun. It was neat to see that area.
Tell me a little bit about the mural actually that is on the cover.
Mm-hmm. So the mural, we actually designed it probably about 2.5 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So it's taken us a little bit, but during the progression of the town, the building changed owners too. So we just had to do some paperwork. But he was right on board. Jonathan was when we said we want kind of like a postcard-ish thing, just to invite some street art. We wanted to have something colorful. You come across Washington right there at the bridge on Gus Nix, and it's just like boom, right there.
Yeah.
Bam,
welcome.
Yeah. And then during the process of all this, which I do believe that timing is just everything. Mm-hmm. And during the timing of this, when we were on hold of the building, that's when we had the fire.
Right.
So me and Angie talked, and we went straight back to the drawing board and was like, this is something that is going to be in history forever. Mm-hmm. So we want to, not make fun of it or anything like that, pay respects to it. So if you look in the O of the Vinton, that's what's there. It's the Clover Creamery sign that hopefully one day it'll come back to life. We don't know if it's the same location or not. But after that, I feel like the it was the masterpiece was complete.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and it made sense after that. It was like, okay, this is the reason why we had to pause. You know, we were missing one little piece and we didn't know it.
Yeah, well, it's perfect. It's got those bright colors, like you said. It welcomes you. It's very eye-catching. You're not going to miss it. So when you're in Vinton, y'all are going to know it.
Well, I know, and I want to give a shout out to Chasity and the town too, because if you drive through Vinton now, of course, there's all things changing all the time, but a lot of the storefronts or the windows have the murals in them. So, you know, we have ours, Twin Creeks, the building down near the farmer's market. So I would love to see those kind of things throughout the whole town, and more murals, because that people love to see that stuff. And I think we've gotten more compliments on those type of things, that, you know, because people just love that.
And I mean, it's better than looking at renovation.
I completely agree. I'm a big supporter of public art murals.
Yeah,
like, I think
I love
they're
it.
fantastic. What a great way to
And
show
the one
off
at
so
Vinton
much.
Vet. Oh my gosh,
yeah.
Vinton Vet
that
has a
John
They just finished it
mural.
too, right? Oh my gosh,
it's
beautiful.
beautiful. I mean, so that to show off that talent first of all, but also to show off different segments of the town and just make it lively. You know.
Well, and Chastity, you made a good point that kind of gave me chills for a little bit. This is a piece of history, and so you're really sharing a piece of your history in a future, you know, piece of the growth. So how exciting is that? So let's talk a little bit about the features readers are going to find inside. We'll start with the booming business piece, because I think that's really important. Obviously, you support, especially as the chamber, but as the town as a whole, really support local businesses and their owners. Businesses are really only growing in this area, especially when backed by traditional small town values. Do you guys want to give a little shout out to some of the people who just really work hard to make that economic development happen?
Well, I'd say the town, the town council, Pete, the town manager, but Chasity, Marshall, yeah.
There's just so many. Nathan.
It is. I mean, it's the town. I said this the other day to someone. I said the town is just. We have the best leadership. We have the best public works. We have, and everybody works so well together. And I think we're all the time promoting Vinton, no matter where we go and what we do. And I think that some of us that are more in the public eye are really doing that all the time, because that's how that people recognize us. But I think everybody is just always saying, come to Vinton, come to Vinton. And the cool thing is people are calling us now, you know, calling us to want to do things or to be in Vinton and to be in business there or to be at events or whatever. So that's a really cool thing.
Take these two businesses that we're looking at in the magazine so you can read. So, I mean, how long Mark's been there?
Oh, Mark's Creative Occasions has been there for years. He is a
Now
staple,
new.
and now Liz, they're passing the torch on to
Libby.
from Debbie to Libby, and I just love to see that happen and see the growth, and the people still support businesses that have been there for a long time and support the newer businesses that are coming along, because we love to have them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that is really exciting. I just wanted to, you mentioned something about the town really coming together. And as somebody, again, who's kind of written these stories for a decade, it is so easy to see you all come together and be united on something, because it's almost like you have, of course, your individual personalities, but you all really come together for the good of the town. No matter what it is, you all are always so focused on what's best for Vinton. And I love that about you guys.
Well, thank you.
So, okay, next article would be about transportation, which is obviously really important for people who are thinking about moving to Vinton. They need to know walkability, how to get safely across the crosswalks to school, to walk their child to school. Talk a little bit about all of this founded and supported by local citizens, actually, too.
Well, the town is always looking to open up the area for biking, walking, to get people out and movement. But we also want those the pedestrians to be safe when they're out biking or walking. So they have worked really hard on crosswalks, signage for the crosswalks, lighting, timing. They've gone through a huge study, and most of the lights, stoplights have had the new technology of the signals that they signal to the first responders and different things like that. So we really want the town to be someplace that people feel safe to walk to school, to walk to businesses, to walk to restaurants, and and be able to get there that easily, like have the direct passage to it with not only our sidewalks, we're putting in sidewalks all kinds of places.
That's a lot of moving pieces. This
It is
isn't
a
just
lot.
like we want walkability and then it's there.
Right.
This is years of implementation.
The lighting that they've put in, like I said, the crosswalks, the greenway, they're expanding the greenway all the time and putting new pieces to it. So it's really neat to watch and to see more people out walking and biking in our area. So it's nice.
Especially because our region is just well known for, bringing in people who want to be outside, who want to bike, who want to get there safely.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so that's a key point, I think.
Yeah, safety.
Well, and that actually leads beautifully into public safety. So we have this feature on the people who make every event and occasion safe, special, and clean, the first responders who help keep the town safe. Chastity, you're in charge of the billions of events that happen in Vinton. Tell me more about all the people who are making them also wonderful.
So we could not do it without our police department, 100%. We try to support as much as we can on our events without having to go out of our jurisdiction. Roanoke County, Roanoke City, Salem does help us if we don't have enough police officers.
Sure.
The biggest value I feel like our town gets is our public works department.
Goodness.
I mean, these guys are out here working, setting up races. Any idea me and Angie have? That's crazy.
Oh, those poor souls.
Yes.
They do the cover. They helped us with the cover. And
they're just there.
Yeah, they're there. Whatever we need to do. And I say this a lot that we have like our Christmas parade, the fall festival, the Dogwood Festival, even Mingles at the Market that we do. The town, the next day, July 4th, the next day, you don't even know they happened.
Right.
They are on top of it. When we all leave from the Christmas parade, we're cold, we're hungry, we're tired. They are still working.
Yeah, sometimes in rain and other bad weather,
yes.
heat.
Yes.
July 4th, woo, there had to have been 8,000 people at the War Memorial down the street. It was insane, but amazing.
It was
props
awesome.
to totally
And thanks
Chasity.
to those people who helped make it.
And it was like the next morning, Keith Lyles and I were talking about this the next morning. It was like it never happened. Yeah. Never happened.
Which is a real feat because in my neighborhood, I saw the little firecracker stuff everywhere. And I was like, well, clearly.
Yeah. They're out cleaning that stuff up.
Yeah,
That's
bless
the
them.
thing. Yeah.
Thank you.
So they're amazing. And we don't want to forget our Roanoke County, the fire department, our ambulances, all the volunteer EMS work that came in and worked that night. They had to get them from different counties. I do know that much.
They were at
for
my
July
mingle
4th.
at the market on Saturday night. The police.
It takes a hot 40 of us.
Yeah.
To make this run. But I'll tell you, when you see the families and us walking out at July 4th and handing out magazines, so me and her.
I assume you were celebrities at this event.
Right. Well, no, they still don't know who we are.
Right. No, they don't.
It's okay. It's okay. But no, just handing out the magazines, and you go places and you just see people like, no, I don't want a magazine. No, I don't want your free whatever.
Right.
These people are like, thank you.
Everybody wanted
and
one.
it's so cool. Like that part right there, to me, I feel like is what fills our joy. I guess.
Absolutely. And I tell you another thing is that when I look out like at the 4th of July or Mingle at the Market or wherever, and we know a lot of the people, most of the people in Vinton or the regulars that come in, but when you look out and there's a lot of faces that you don't know, that's really cool. Absolutely. Because we're reaching those people outside of Vinton or outside of people that we would normally have at events or whatever. So that to me is really neat because we're getting those new people in.
Yeah.
And we want people we always say we want our town to be a destination, not a drive-through.
Right.
Because people pass through us. They are either going from the lake or to the lake or to whatever. And we want them to stop. We want them to stop and have some fun with us.
And where else are you going to have a chief of police that gets up on July 4th and races all the Boys and Girls Club at the 4 on the 4th?
Right, exactly.
You're not going to find that everywhere for sure.
Right. No, and they're at every event that we do. They're there supporting. They're meeting the community, and they're happy to be there.
Yeah.
It's not like they're I got to work. They're happy to be there.
Yeah, I like that they want to be informed too.
Yes.
So you gave a shout out to Vinton Messenger, who was really helpful in collecting photos because she is at every event.
Debbie Adams is a beast.
I mean, does she sleep? Like,
I don't think so. She couldn't possibly, because I don't care what time I send her an email, because sometimes they pop into my head and I have to send them. And she answers back, and I'm like, Debbie, did I wake up? No, Mom. I'm like, you know,
It's 3 a.m.
We do that too. We do that too, where, you know, it's like when things pop in our head, we have to send them.
Amazing. Though.
Yeah, but she is an animal.
She's one of a kind.
Just wanted to give her a shout out, because
Yes.
thank you to her for helping us with the images and creating such a beautiful publication. It was really
it is
great
beautiful.
to have her hand in there. You're talking about you don't want to be a drive-through. You want to be a destination. So let's talk about the many things in Vinton that help make you a destination, because there's so much to eat, play, and do in your space. From Pokey Joe's Barbecue, which just opened, and we had a little celebration at the Chamber last week, and I'm still thinking about that the mac and cheese. Oh my God. I'm still thinking about the mac and cheese.
Yes.
Oh,
ridiculous.
And the barbecue is fantastic, but the brisket is probably some of the best I've ever had in my life.
Good recommendation for next time.
I mean,
There's also, there's tons of other places. Our Daily Bread, and then even, Rosie's Gaming Emporium for play, Firehouse Skate and Play for a lot of fun, kids,
bowling
family of
alley,
all sizes.
bowling.
Dozens of events put on annually. Tell listeners about, I don't even know where to start. Where do you start? Food. Let's talk about food first. Where are you guys recommending for food besides everywhere? I mean, I love every place I go over there.
I was going to say, I don't think there's a bad
There's
restaurant.
not. You've got burgers,
like that,
you've got tacos, you've got sandwich,
everything.
everything.
And so many of our restaurants are locally owned, and we talk to these people on a daily basis. We know their kids, or we know their families, or you go to church with them, or you go to ball games, something. They're people that It's not a chain, and so that to me is really neat, because when you go in there, you're supporting their families as well.
Absolutely.
And so I mean, some of the whole, the people that don't know of things like the La Casa del Burrito Taco Shop. People don't know about that.
Or the convenience store right there on Pollard. They sell the best tacos too.
I mean,
in the back.
Yes,
Or
you don't know about these. It's Chef Clater's. It's
his meals for lunch.
Yes, I mean, so in most of these places, if they have daily specials, I share them on our Facebook page and tell you Bob's and Chef Clater's and Last Stop Lounge and all those places that share their daily specials can always be found on our Facebook pages, as well as theirs. But I think that we counted. We put a menu book together, which we're working on right now. I think there's like 31 restaurants in the town of Vinton.
I mean, that's
crazy.
a lot. I mean, think
3.2 square
you're gonna
miles.
eat 5 times a day really well.
Right.
Well, yeah, we're 3.2 square miles.
And hey guys, we like to eat.
Sign
like
me
to
up.
eat.
I'm there.
I'm
I
good.
like to eat. You can tell.
Let's do it.
So there's really, if you want a recommendation for some kind of food, shout out to us, because we'll be glad to tell you which one to go to.
Well, I'll tell you this has probably been like 2 months ago. Sorry, I don't know who you were in my phone. I didn't save your number. But they texted and was like, me and the wife are coming into town. What do you expect us, what would you say for us to do on a date night? And I was like, oh my gosh, we can accommodate date nights.
Right.
This is cool. It's like, we actually can do that, And it's like, you can drop the kids off at Defy and go do ninja things. And you can go down and eat a really good dinner at several different restaurants in downtown.
And then go grab a drink somewhere else.
You can go to McAdoo's and get a drink. You can go to Rosie's, get some gambling on. I mean, while the kids are still, making your angels.
My husband keeps threatening to take me to Rosie's, but I got to put him on a budget or something. So
Yeah. But it's fun, and I tell you, they have great food too.
Well, you talked about the burgers, and I can't wait to eat the
burger.
burgers.
They're good.
Everything's good there. So, and it's so neat to be able to. That's a cool story, because to be able to say, we can help you with date night.
Absolutely.
Or you want to get up in the morning and go to Renee's, used to be Jerry's, or
Yep.
Dogwood, and then come to the farmer's market.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gabby's got all the produce and plants you can imagine down
beautiful
there.
plants.
And you've
down
got
there.
R&D with that great space.
Oh my
and
gosh,
his
Quincy and his
coffee.
donuts.
Ridiculous.
What?
I know.
Yeah.
Insane.
I need like a food coma after I visit his
Well,
donuts. Oh my gosh.
it's just, you can't go wrong coming to Vinton.
Absolutely. So we're talking about food, but let's talk about the events. Chastity, you're the mastermind behind all of it.
Well, I'll tell you, I couldn't do it without my sidekick right here. Of
course not.
The concert series are totally 100% her. She does every mingle, and let me tell you, she has been blowing it out the water this year.
We do.
I mean, getting an attendance of 1,000. that's insane.
Yeah.
You know, I remember when I started, we were lucky to get 200 people. And that was a great night.
That was
like,
a great
that was
night.
amazing. So to see this growth and the potential and the businesses that are feeding off of this, instead of looking at it as a competition, they're actually like, what can we do?
That's key,
Can
right?
we do a pre-party? Can we do an after party? What can we do to help? It's like, wow.
That's really the beauty of Vinton too. The fact that you just nailed it. They're not competition. Like you
Right,
all
no.
live in this little space together, working together is only going to
can
make
we do?
everything great for everybody.
Yes,
like how
exactly.
wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah, the chamber does 16 major events a year.
16.
Yeah.
That's
Golly.
in the Senior Expo, all the mingles, Christmas parade, Fall Festival, and that's not including all the ribbon cuttings and the after hours and the lunch and learns.
And lastly, let's talk about some of the outdoor stuff because obviously Visit Virginia's Blue Ridge is well known for its outdoor, market. So
Absolutely.
tell us a little bit about what you're going to find when you head outdoors in Vinton.
So if you haven't been, please, just all you need to do is look up greenways and blueways, and we're there.
Deal.
All of that is there. I will say we have kayak launches. Please, now you can put tubes in there as long as, just be careful. There's still going to be rocks that, could puncture or
Yeah.
whatever. As far as greenways, we're on... Oh gosh, behind Billy Bird has already been completed. You can come across the street. There's several more phases. So, I mean, this is years. Don't know that we'll see completed in our lifetime. Hopefully our kids will be able to talk about it.
But
though.
even 10 years
Yeah.
ago, this wasn't here.
wasn't
Amen.
here.
So think
Wolf
about how
Creek,
quickly
yeah.
so many of these things came together. Now I get to enjoy them.
Yes. And like she said, Wolf Creek is not, I mean, there's so many. What is there, 5?
5.
There's 5 different ways, greenways and blueways that we were connected all the way around. So I like to look at us as like the cream of the crop because we're like the glue in the middle that
Yeah,
holds
you're
it all
accessible
together.
to everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, you see water, jump in.
What's that motto you guys have? In the middle of everything?
middle of
I
everything.
think that applies.
Well, I say with going outdoors, I mean, it's not in Vinton, but I always say that there are 3 ways to get to Smith Mountain Lake, and we own 2 of them.
Well, and that's the truth.
So you got to come
Yeah.
through Vinton.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
either
true.
24 or Hardy Road, you got to come through Vinton to get to or from the lake. So, stop and grab
Yeah,
something.
and I mean,
or-
like when you're biking in Ironman,
Yeah.
we've been fortunate enough to have a little bitty piece of that little puzzle, and that's been great. So, I mean, a ton of pedal bikers that you'll see now more that are on the Washington, and then they know the way to get back on the Greenway, back and forth or whatever. And the connectivity to know that we're going to be connecting to like Botetourt, to me, it's almost mind blown for me to like sit here and comprehend that of like, you can literally get on your bike and go.
I think so too. I mean,
It's
it is hard to
amazing.
believe.
Yeah, and then you've got Franklin County that we're neighbors with that they're connecting that to.
Botetourt.
So, and Botetourt, I mean, there's
So
just
exciting.
it's really, really cool.
Really cool.
But as we talk about this, I do want to bring up the fact that there are growing pains, to get to the gold, as we like to say. So, thank you to the citizens, the pedestrians, the whoever that's out there, the everybody that is dealing with us, having to close roads,
Yes.
having to have flaggers out there that are putting you on another road. And no, it is not the most comfortable thing. We understand. I'm a citizen of Vinton. My tax dollars are there too. I love them.
we have to go around those detours too.
But yeah, me and Angie don't have the golden card
No,
yet.
You don't have a
don't.
cart that just like cuts across.
No. So we get aggravated too, but just know years down the road, it is gonna be amazing. So we appreciate you guys and thank you for
Absolutely.
letting us do all of this stuff.
Perfect. What a wonderful sentiment. So it's very obvious you guys are passionate about Vinton. Duh. But, you both have been such an active part of the town of Vinton's growth and success. I'm curious about what it is about Vinton that you love so much. What keeps you here instead of going anywhere else? What brings you back after you've lived here and moved away and now you're back directing the chamber?
Right.
What is it that you love so much?
It's home. I mean, I think that it just, I'll cry. It just feels like home. I love that we know so many people. I love that we feel safe. I love that we support each other. As we've said about quite a few different people, they support what we do. we try to support what everybody else does. But yeah, I left for 18 years. Everybody thinks the grass is greener somewhere, and I left and went to Myrtle Beach for 18 years. Only going to stay the summer. Came home. But as you in the magazine, I said the story of I worked at a car rental place at the airport in Myrtle Beach, and that was on our name tag where we were from, and so I was like, "Where's Vinton?" And I go on this big long drawn out thing like he really cared about where Vinton was, and he goes, "You should work for the Chamber of Commerce." So here, years later,
that man
here I am.
could tell the future,
right? Exactly. So I had no idea I'd come back and work for the chamber, but I'm so glad I do, and I'm so glad I get to promote home and the people in it.
I know Vinton feels the same way, and they're grateful
I'm a crier.
to have
Sorry.
you. Don't cry away. Well, we'll clean it up. Chasity, how about you? I mean, what is it that you love so much?
It's just that small town. I mean, 100%. Like it, you get what you put into it, and there's nothing else I could ever say bad about the town. It's something that I would hope, hundreds of years from now, this is a tradition that my great grandkids are talking about. But they found something in me that I didn't know I had.
I think when we were talking about your win for Female Star of the Star City back in our May-June issue, you had mentioned that. And what a wonderful thing for her to be acknowledged in such a way.
Absolutely.
That Vinton comes out
so proud of
and
her.
shows support for you, for Angie, for everybody who's been part of this in any way. I mean, that's really beautiful. Yeah. Really lovely community feeling. So you two also have a ball in your show, All Things Vinton, filmed and produced by Roanoke Valley Television. That's RVTV. And it's always so much fun to see you two having so much fun while also promoting local businesses and happenings. Could you tell listeners more about your show? And of course, we're going to add how to see every single episode at rvtv.org.
So I'd say during COVID, Angie was coming up with all kinds of ideas of how can we still promote businesses? What can we do to get them out there? They started doing a lot of live Facebook footages, and
I just go around to the business and say, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Yeah, like a minute, 2 minutes most. And then we were like, this would be kind of cool. If we could do it as an added benefit if you were a member. Never in a million years, okay, did we ever think that this thing was going to
make you a TV star?
Right. Autographs are later.
YouTube star.
right, YouTube star.
But we got together. We didn't have a script.
We never have a script.
We've never had a script.
For what it's worth, we've got Scott from RVTV in the background, so he can shout his confirmation on that one.
And he's giggling about this because he knows. And bless his heart, we just shot one a little while ago, and I said, and we told him that we have no script, and that they are angels and they are masters of their craft because they make them look good, because we have no idea how they're going to turn out, because sometimes we just
go left.
Yeah.
And we definitely should have went right.
Exactly.
So I have to think one of my favorite ones is you with that shield for the gauntlet. I just die laughing every time I think of you hopping those steps and fighting with your swords. But what do you think is one of your favorite characters or episodes that you've had so far for RVTV?
I would say if you put them all together, I didn't realize how many facial expressions I had. And I look at myself and I'm like, oh my gosh, other people see that. That's you.
Yeah, you speak with your face by accident.
100%.
Me too,
100%.
for sure.
I think the best part, is just dressing up and being silly. One of our first ones, and one of the ones that I think we laughed probably the hardest at was Defy Gravity.
Oh gosh.
That was
ninja school.
Yeah, I should not swing from ropes at all. And but Firehouse or whatever, just dressing up and stuff. Cindy's, or it just didn't matter. The creative occasions when and the funniest, one of the funniest parts is when Chasity was doing the creative occasion ones and I was behind the scenes. I was rolling laughing at her and Mark and her throwing flowers and stuff. So the behind the scenes, we tell Scott all the time we need a blooper reel. Yeah. I'm not sure we could show it everywhere, but a blooper reel, because they are masters.
I'll tell you though, the coolest thing, and Scott might be able to, he sees it, even more than we do because he's back there taping us. The relationships that we're building.
Yes.
We're silly and they're seeing a whole nother side. Me.
This isn't your very stern president of your chamber who's going to tell you what to do.
Exactly. Right. And then it's me representing the town, and then I'm just like, hey, and they're just like, what? So seeing them relax
Yeah.
You know, it's funny when you say we're going to come in with a TV crew.
They
and
probably
then you
get really
come
nervous,
in with
right?
a TV crew, and they're like, "Oh crap, you meant a crew?"
Yeah. Oh, for real.
Yeah.
Like they
sure
really
do.
think that we're like going to come in with our phones.
Yeah.
And we're
Yeah.
like, oh no.
Yeah.
No, they're really coming with
We've
cameras.
grown up since the
Right,
phones.
yeah.
That was 2
Well,
years ago.
At our last one, we were just we were in a store and a shop, and people were coming in. They're like, "What are y'all doing?" We're like, "It's
Don't
okay."
mind us,
And then they're
though.
taking pictures. I'm like, oh god.
You know what, though? I think that sets such a great stage for Vinton itself because it shows that it's fun, that it's open to new ideas, and that you're going to have a blast no matter what you're doing there. So
I agree.
I think that you're very representative of the town.
Thank you. We have fun. We do have fun.
Absolutely. So before we go, let's give one more shout out to the Vinton Chamber of Commerce for all that they're doing to help build up local businesses and share community resources and events. For those who aren't already members, Angie, what are some of the benefits of joining their local chamber?
Oh goodness, exposure, the relationship with other people in the town. We, let alone the, being on the website and vendor spots and different stuff like that. But I think it's just to show the support of the company or the chamber that supports you. So we are there to support the businesses, to get their word out, to get their name out, to share what they have going in their business. I always tell them, I don't know what's going on in your business all the time. You have to tell me, but I will shout it from the rooftop so that everybody knows.
Yeah, that's really key, actually, though, that you're communicating with the businesses and they're communicating with you back. Like,
Yes.
you don't know what you don't know. So it's
Right.
really up to them to put in as much as you guys put in, too.
Absolutely. And so, we want people to be out there and as sponsors. They can be, on posters and banners and stuff at all of our events, and we just want to show those businesses the support that they show us too.
Yeah, well, and in addition, you also, so membership lunches, after hours meetings, fundraising, festival events, and you're serving the community, of course, with the Town of Vinton, promoting economic development with all that they're doing.
Well, and just like Chasity just said a few minutes ago, our Mingle at the Market summer concert series, we're doing 9 of them this year. The first 3 have been attended. It's mind-blowing how many people have been coming to them, so I hope it continues. They're on the 2nd and the 4th Saturdays of each month, and then the Fall Festival in October. But it's to just bring those people to town that might have not been to Vinton or might not have been recently to see what we have and then go, oh, look, there's a new restaurant, or look, there's a new store, or I'm coming back to Vinton.
Yep.
When it's not a party on the street, I'm coming back to Vinton to eat or shop or whatever you want to do. So, yeah.
Well, that's great. Well, thank you guys for being on the show today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And thank you again for your partnership on the Vinton Magazine. It's such a privilege and a pleasure to work on this book every couple of years and
Thank
to
you.
get to see my friends, my old friends who have been there and continue to be there, and then meet the new friends who are becoming part of Vinton. So
We love it. We
thank
look forward
you.
to it every year.
Thank you very much. This has been a special bonus episode of the Roanoke Presents From Print to Podcast, hosted by your dearly devoted editor, Liz Long. Thanks so much to our friends, Angie Chewning and Chasity Barbour, for sharing the exciting things happening in and for Vinton, and to RVTV for hanging out with us today to capture it all on video. You can listen to more episodes of our first season wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, or see our segment videos on our YouTube channel. Be sure to get the Vinton Magazine found around town or at the Vinton Chamber of Commerce office, as well as grab our latest issue on newsstands now or read even more at theroanoker.com. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you soon for another great party in Vinton.